For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. Also, I've got a new merchandise store, hats, hoodies and new tee designs, all available right now on the link in the description. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 25 of the Everton Career Mode series here on FIFA 17. If you're new to the channel, this is what we do at the end of each season. We have a season roundup video. We have a look at all of the competitions that we were involved in and how we got on in this previous season. We'll have a look at the other top leagues around Europe and see who will be joining in the Champions League next year. We'll have a look and see who won the Golden Boot in the Premier League. We'll have a final squad report as well, so we can kind of plan transfers for next season. Of course, we do have 3 players joining us on a free at the end of this season as we head into season number 2. So drop the video a like if you enjoy, and if you've enjoyed this season, subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on season number 2. And let's dive straight in. The first thing is actually pretty spectacular. We've had an email of our reward money for finishing second in the Premier League. It's rather a large figure, an unexpected large figure that hasn't saved in my message archive. Wonderful. Well, I will be able to... I had saved it in my archive. I will be able to show you it from the transactions menu. We, if I scroll down here, received 119 million for finishing second in the Premier League. What? 119 million pounds. So the overall club worth is £866 million now, which is up, as you can see on the left-hand side, 73.91 million. Now, that's a big thing because if we have a look at the board objectives, of course, we were asked to raise the club's worth by 20%. Now, we've already achieved 60% of that 20%. So we've still got 2 more seasons to do it. So I'm pretty damn sure we're going to achieve that long-term goal. We'll have a quick look through these now whilst we're here before we have a look at the league table. Of course, we weren't able to get Alfie Hill up 10 ratings by the end of the season, unfortunately. He only went up by 8. He did play the 10 games, but I couldn't get him to grow quite enough to be able to match this short-term objective. So unfortunately we failed that one. I thought I'd done it, and I'll show you why I thought I'd done it in a moment, but we of course finished this one much earlier on in the season. We sold £68 million worth of shirt sales in this season. We've seen that we've already nearly finished the 3-year long-term financial situation. They wanted us to qualify for the Champions League or finish in the Champions League place, which is of course top 4. We finished second. We completed that one. Only got to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, unfortunately, of course, and the short-term continental success, which doesn't really match with the domestic because it wanted us to finish top 4. It says qualify for the Champions League, but by doing so, we qualified for the Europa League, technically, by finishing above, I don't know. We've matched the objectives, though, so our manager rating has actually dropped from 80 to 78, all told, for the season, but we met a number of accomplishments that the board set to us this year. And I'll show you why I thought Alfie Hill had gone up 10 ratings. Because if you have a look on the player development here, in the training, if I scroll to Alfie Hill, it says plus 10. Now, if I show you in the squad report, we'll do a full in-depth look at the squad report at the end of the episode. But I just want to quickly show you what it says next to Alfie Hill. It says 10 in the training, doesn't it? But here, it only says plus 8. So obviously when I was training him, I thought, oh, I'll easily get him up to 10 because I need to get to 71 and I don't need to put him as all 5 of the training slots for the whole of the month, which I didn't do because it said that I got him up 10. But then in the squad report, it says he's only up 8. So I got FIFA'd, unfortunately, so we didn't meet that one. Let's have a look at the competitions we were involved in this year, though. In the Premier League, we finished second, of course. In the end, a full 14 points behind Arsenal. We lost 10 games total, which is more than anyone else in the top 5, and only Liverpool lost more in the top 7. So the fact that we won 24 games was actually pretty damned important. We only drew 4 games all year long, which was the lowest of anyone in the league, I believe it was. So Arsenal win the league. Ourselves, Manchester City, all qualify automatically for the group stage of the Champions League. However, Chelsea do have to go through the 4th qualifying knockout round to get to the group stage. Manchester United will be put into the group stage of the Europa League, and Liverpool miss out, unfortunately for them. Relegated are last year's champions, Leicester City. alongside Burnley and Southampton, are also relegated out of the Premier League, finishing 18th by a single point behind Middlesbrough and 3 points behind West Brom. I didn't expect to see Southampton and Leicester in the relegation zone. That is a real shock, to be completely honest. We'll have a look at the other competitions we were involved in this year. If it actually changes slate, come on, don't be slow. Tottenham win the FA Cup by 2-1 against Arsenal. So congratulations to them. They, of course, knocked us out in the quarter-final round on penalties, went on to beat Stoke, and then lose to Arsenal in the final. Tottenham beating Palace, Swansea, Manchester City and Arsenal on their way to that final. So I'm glad Arsenal didn't win that competition. However, they did do the double by winning the Football League Cup by beating myself in that final, which unfortunately we lost by 3-1. Our pre-season tournament, we didn't get out the group stage. Torino won that. Moving into the European competitions, Bayern Munich win the Champions League by 3-0 over Lyon, who are a shock finalist in the Champions League after knocking out Atletico Madrid by 4-2 in the semis. They also beat Barcelona in the round of 16. What are Lyon doing this season? That's outstanding. In the Europa League, the lesser of the two European competitions, Napoli won by 1-0 over Hertha Berlin, who beat Leicester City by 1-0, who obviously would have gone into the Europa League after finishing third in their Champions League group. So congratulations to Napoli for doing that. The Confederations Cup is ongoing currently in this kind of pre-season period, or post-season period, I suppose, before we head into pre-season. But that's how the competitions went that we were involved in this year. So have a quick look around the other larger leagues in Europe to see who will be joining us in the Champions League next season. I also want to see who's going to be joining us in the Premier League next season. We'll have a quick look at the Championship, and personally I want to have a quick look at League 2 to see how Cambridge United got on. But Aston Villa win the Championship with 103 points. Newcastle finished second, so they'll be up as well for next season in the BPL. In the Premier League, not the BPL, it's been a full season. I'm still tripping over that. One of Queen's Park Rangers, Norwich, Nottingham Forest and Brighton will also join us. Who that might be, though, not entirely too sure. I'll just quickly scroll in case there's a site here that you want to have a quick look at with regards to the English leagues. Again, similar. Whoa! Charlton undefeated in 46 games and win League One with 118 points. That's a mad thing. That's absolutely incredible from Charlton. 36 wins, 10 draws. That's mad. Didn't expect that. Wimbledon goes straight back down. Where did Cambridge finish? 7th. In the playoffs. I don't know whether they'll have gotten promoted or not, though. I've got no way to tell who won the playoffs, unfortunately. But Leyton Orient, Notts County and Plymouth Argyle will get promoted into League One, sorry. So congratulations to them. I hope Cambridge got promoted. That would be great for me if they did. Lyon win not only... Oh, no, they lost the Champions League final, didn't they? Forgive me. They win, though, Ligue 1, ahead of Paris Saint-Germain by 5 points. Didn't expect Lyon to do what they did this season. I bet Alexandre Lacazette scored a hell of a lot of goals there. Bayern München, undefeated, win the Bundesliga. Wow, 27 wins, 7 draws, no defeats. So 2 teams went undefeated this season. 13 goals conceded in 34 games. That's just absolutely... I don't even know. Absolutely outstanding. Dortmund and Leverkusen and Wolfsburg finish the remainder of the Champions League spots in Germany. In Italy, yeah, no shock there. Although Juventus losing 7 games is perhaps a turn up for the books. But they win the Scudetto again by 3 points from AC Milan, by a further point from Inter Milan. And then Napoli and Roma finish in the 2 Europa League spots for the Italian League. Of course, the J League is now involved in FIFA this year for the first time in... It's not ever. I don't think it's the first time ever. PSV win in the Netherlands. We'll have a quick look at Spain as well. Benfica win in Portugal, no real shock there, to be honest. Zenit win in Russia, no real shock there. I bet Celtic won in Scotland, they did, although Rangers ran them close. And in Spain, Barcelona win La Liga by 1 point from Real Madrid, who were a further 3 ahead of Atletico, who were a further 4 ahead of Sevilla, who are a side I'm contemplating doing a manager mode with later in the year, if you might be interested in that. But they're the leagues that, or the sort of sides that will be playing in the Champions League next year. Let's have a quick look and see who got the golden boot in the BPL, in the Premier League this season. It was Willian with 16, Santi Cazorla with 15, and the first out-and-out striker is actually Slimani. Willian, Cazorla, Navas, Mane, Punchin. All midfielders at the top of the Golden Boot list. That's really strange. Our highest player on that list is Lukaku with 8. course, he would have scored a handful more had he not been injured, but we weren't big goal scorers this year at all, to be honest. And Jovetic is there with 7, so he did well enough. And the assist chart, Santi Cazorla had a hell of a season. That 15 goals and 8 assists as well. Dimi Payet's up there as well. Jovetic's got 6 assists. That's good. Mirallas with 5. Anyone else from us? Idrissa Gana Gueye got 5. Deulofeu got 5. Actually, Iñaki Williams got 5. That's confusing when you only see the surname, and I've got 2 Williamses. Sergio Rico came second in the clean sheet battle. Petr Cech kept 23 clean sheets. No wonder Arsenal won the league. That's madness. They had such a good season, and they just destroyed me every single time I played them, as you saw earlier on in the week. Most notably yesterday's episode. Right, let's have a final rundown then of the squad report so we can see how everybody has grown and plan what we think we're going to do for next season. Sergio Rico grew up 2 this year, up to 82 rated at 23 years of age. Handling, kicking, positioning and reflexes all at 1. That's great. Mason Holgate is up 9, to 74. I was training his slide tackle, his passing, his marking and his stand tackling. You can see there 16, 12, 12, 13. Improvements in there, and interceptions went up 18 as well. But he's going to be very, very good for us in future seasons. Monsieur Lemos came in January, and he's done very well, up 1 as well. He's been rock solid for me. Ashley Williams is now down 1, so we are going to have to contemplate selling him in the summer transfer window to replace him. Definitely something we're going to have to think about, although, of course, we do have 3 players joining us on pre-contracts, one of which is a centre-back. Brian Oviedo is currently unhappy. Why are you unhappy? He wants more money. Of course he does. Up 2 overall, though, to 74. Of course, we have Kwadwo Asamoah joining us next season. I'll probably utilise him at left-back more so than left-mid or centre-mid. So, well, to be fair, he could play anywhere, really, Kwadwo Asamoah, but I'll use him at left-back, and Oviedo will take a back seat, maybe even be sold. James McCarthy's up 1 to 82. He was brilliant for me this year. Ross Barkley's up 2 to 83. He was brilliant for me this year as well. 2 goals, 4 assists. Perhaps could have done more with regards to goals and assists, but his all-round performance was very good, as you can see from his average rating there. James Ward-Prowse, 4 and 4. He's up 4 overall to 80. Fantastic growth from him. Of course, his ball control and dribbling has much improved now, as we've been training him throughout the season for that. Gerard Deulofeu's up 2 to 83. 10 goals, 8 assists for him. Average rating of 7.7 all season long is outstanding. A wonderful player. Highly recommend that you pick him up yourself if you haven't to this point. Stefan Jovetic, no growth, which is disappointing, but 10 goals, 6 assists. He did all right. Could have done better, but he did all right. He did as much as could be expected, I think, to be fair. Iñaki Williams is up 3 to 83 this year. He was fantastic for me. Really enjoyed using him. 3 goals, 7 assists, and a £7.3 million average rating. Mirallas starting to decline. Contemplating selling him. In fact, I'm almost certain I will sell Kevin Mirallas alongside Ashley Williams next season. Idrissa is up 1. He was rock solid for me. Very pleased with his performance. He's a great all-round central midfielder. Luke Garbutt's up 2. Not going to need to replace him or move him on. He's going to be a good backup player. Yannick Bolasie was great for me this year. No growth overall, which is disappointing, although he is 28. 5 goals, 3 assists, an average rating of 7.1. Alfie Hill, an average rating of 7.4, and he's up to 71 rated. So he's going to be very, very good for me. Potential to get into the 90s if we continue to train him. Enner Valencia was on loan this year. He's up 1 overall though as well. 5 goals in 15 games for him. Did very well. Of course, we're bringing in Saido Berahino as a striker, so obviously he'll be replaced, and Enner Valencia will go back to West Ham. Bezic is up 1. Contemplating selling him, but I don't think I will because he's still quite young at 24. Did all right. Nice squad rotation player. Bradley Robinson, this guy is 5-star, 5-star, if I remember correctly. He is 5-star weak foot, 5-star skills. A number of these youngsters I'm going to send out on loan next year to hope that they can grow substantially, because I've got so many promising youngsters, I can't commit the time to them in the training module to actually help them all grow. So so loan football is really going to be important for these youth players, but they all have great potential. Ethan Cox, Ollie Cook as well, he looks pretty handy to grow into a 90 rated plus player. Mitchell is 67 rated at just 17 years of age. He's looking pretty impressive as well. I've been improving his short passing in training. Kinsella, I'm probably going to sell. We've got much better youth prospects now. Albon Lafont will see more football next year, considering we'll have an extra competition to play in as well. He's up 2 to 76. We signed him in January, so of course he'll probably feature heavily in the Football League Cup course, he didn't have the opportunity to do that this year because the majority of the Football League Cup is played before the January transfer window. James Yates is a player I will undoubtedly sell on. Same with John Joe Kenny and Russell Griffiths. A number of these youngsters that were already at Everton, the real-life youngsters, they don't have the potential to grow that the Youth Academy youngsters do, so they'll get replaced by the Youth Academy youngsters. Connor Grant, 22 years of age, valued at 1.2 million, will probably fetch me a decent amount of money, perhaps, by the time we come to sell him on. Brendan Galloway is a player I'm unsure what to do with. I think I'll keep Brendan Galloway and sell Brian Oviedo. I think that's what I'm going to do, and we'll train Brendan Galloway perhaps with. Although I may not need to. I might be able to send him out on loan again because we'll have Luke Garber, we'll have Kwadwo Asamoah. I might send Brendan Galloway out on loan again. I'll take your guys' suggestions on that. Tyus Browning has actually played a handful of games for me this year and been very good. Up 2 to 69 rated. Funes Mori is up 3 to 80. Been very impressed with him this year. Very, very good player for me. Conor McElhaney will get sold. Romelu Lukaku up 2 to 86. 11 goals in all competitions, but he only played 17 Premier League games for me. So obviously if he played the full season, he would have been challenging for the Golden Boot. But he'll be back in 3 months' time, continuing to grow, and I'm sure will do so in Season 2 as well. Same as Coleman, fantastic right back. He'll be back in 5 weeks. Really pleased with his performances this year. Axel Witsel injured, was injured again, but is fit again, thankfully, after that sprained ankle. Hopefully he doesn't continue to be injury prone in Season 2, otherwise I may have to consider selling him in January. Aidan McGeady's out. A number of these players that are out on loan actually will just get sold when they come back, to be completely honest. In fact, almost all of them will get sold or sent back out on loan, depending on how much room I've got in my squad. And if I check the sell players tab, it should tell me I've got 9 spots available in my squad, so there's still plenty of room for new players to come in, and I might just send those youngsters out on loan then. But I have a few players I'm going to need to offer new contracts to. Morales I'm going to sell, aren't I? So I'll probably offer him a new contract first, just to ensure that he doesn't wait until January and then leave on a free, to ensure that I get money from Morales. So I'll offer him a new contract at the beginning of the next season. Actually, what does he want now? Because I might be able to afford to give him one now. He wants 100 grand. Okay, well, I'll just offer you that, and hopefully he'll accept it. And then we should be able to sell him on in Season 2 and gain an extra bit of money. McGeady will leave. He's on 60 grand a week. That'll do nicely to add into the transfer budget. Morales, we're going to sell. Conor Grant, we're going to sell. Ross Barkley, I'll offer him a new contract. Same with Dale Lefeu. So hopefully we'll be able to get ourselves, a decent squad or decent few additions to the squad at the beginning of next season. So you can see if I do. Actually, no, I'm going to need everything I've got in the wage budget, aren't I? So we'll do. I'm going to need enough money to pay for renewals as well, or renewal fees, sign-up fees. So I'll do that, and we'll wait and see when we start the next season in tomorrow's episode what our budget is for season number 2. Let me know your transfer thoughts in today's episode. I'm going to record at least tomorrow's ahead of time. It's rather unfortunate timing because you'll see this Saturday, I think. And tomorrow we'll have the first 3 friendlies of the next season, and we'll just see what the board want from us in Season 2. Monday I'm actually busy in the evening at an event, so I won't be able to record too far ahead, unfortunately. And then Wednesday I'm busy as well, so I might have to record ahead a little bit for the transfer window, but I will ensure that I take at least some, if not as many as possible, of your transfer suggestions into account during that period whilst I'm recording ahead. So please let me know in the comment section of this video where you think I need to strengthen position wise, and then let me know which players to sign in that particular position, and I will take on as many of your suggestions as I possibly can, depending of course what our budget looks like. But for now, that's going to bring Season 1 to a close. Thank you very much for all of your support throughout Season 1 here at Everton. We are very close now to 200,000 subscribers on the channel. We've grown by almost 40,000 subscribers since the release of FIFA 17. Big love to you guys for that. I can't thank you enough for the support you've shown. Do drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Make sure that you're still subscribed and continue to subscribe if you're new to ensure that you don't miss out on season number 2. There'll be plenty of my player, and I think actually the journey will be coming to a close relatively soon. So I might be contemplating maybe bringing some Ultimate Team content to the channel in the not too distant future. Obviously after I've gotten a couple of these events out of the way, so I've got some more free time to record. But yes, that is the plan for the future. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.